The JLR interview series.
Okay, so it's Wednesday afternoon, just after 4 p.m. British time. And today on Zoom, we've got another excellent guest with us on Jazz London Radio, and her name's Jane Getter. So, how are you this afternoon, Jane?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm fine. Thank you very much. I'm fine. So, we got Jane on today because Jane's got an excellent new album. Well, it came out 2 or 3 months ago now. And I hope I'm getting this pronunciation right. It's called Anomalia.
That's right. Yep.
Right. Okay, that's great. And it's really good to get Jane on here. She's one of the really top-notch guitarists in the world right now, and she's been doing some amazing stuff over the years. I'm really pleased to get her on Jazz on the Radio.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so the first question is, so this came out in March this year, is
Yeah,
that correct?
yeah, the end of March.
Yeah. And it's on an interesting label actually, Cherry Red Records,
Hmm.
a British label.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. The cherry red is the umbrella for. There's a few different labels, and this is a esoteric antenna, which is under the cherry red umbrella. So the website is Cherry Red Records, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a look at the website. It's fascinating. They got lots of different styles of music on there, going back decades. It's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice. It's a great spot for my album because my music is kind of eclectic, and
Hmm.
they have lots of eclectic stuff on there. So
Oh, okay.
mostly prog, stuff, but very, lots of different styles and stuff.
Yeah, lots of different styles, lots of reminiscing as well, lots of reissues, all sorts going on there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And really, the first question is, so as I said, the title's called Anomalia, and your band is Jane Getter's Premonition.
Just Jane Getter Premonition, not Jane
Mhm.
Getter's
Okay,
Premonition.
Jane Getter
No plural.
Premonition. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And why I won't ask is what is the concept? Is there any concept to the album at all, or what was the thinking behind this project, so to speak?
Yeah, I feel that it's just basically an extension of my previous works, more developed and more honed in and defined. And as I've been saying, I feel like it's my strongest work yet.
Hmm.
And the name comes out of the word anomaly. It's actually, I think it's the Greek foundation of the word anomaly. So anomalia
Hmm.
basically ended up turning into anomaly, and it's a very, like I was just saying before, it's eclectic in that there's different styles, all put in to my style. It's not, you can't really categorize it into one particular style, I feel,
Hmm.
and other people say that too. So because I really love and get inspired and listen to many different styles of music, and it all comes out of my writing.
Okay, so I mean, and yeah, for sure. I mean, you listen to many different styles, and you've played many different styles over the years as well. I've heard you on
Yeah.
some really interesting things in the past, like going back to the 90s Urbanator you played on there, which is
Right,
quite funky.
right.
Yeah. And, you know, like extending that, I mean, so you say like, it's playing, that's true, because I've been thinking about that, whether you're a rock musician or jazz musician, I can't actually make up my mind.
um, yeah, let's see. Well, if you talk to the straight ahead jazz people, I'm a rock musician. And if you talk to like the serious rock musicians, I'm a fusion player. So, so you just got to make up your own. And what does it matter really? I mean, it really doesn't matter, So,
No, that's the thing. It doesn't matter, but even though it doesn't matter, it's still interesting to people like me, I suppose, because growing up listening to this kind of music and sort of grappling for this question for decades now. And
hmm.
also, I remember I interviewed Carl Verheyen about 6, 7 years ago when he came to England and went to see him play.
Hmm.
And I always come back to this phrase. He told me fusion is back.
Fusion is back. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, there's a lot of, prog fusion, rock fusion, progressive rock. It's jazz rock fusion, which has been around for, since '70s. Um, but yeah, it's just sort of like, a way to um, describe a music that's not set in one particular genre. And I think that's fine. It's a fusion of different genres.
Yeah. Yeah, but and also I think we're at a stage where the rock side of the fusion is more prominent than the jazz side. I think for a while, especially maybe at some points in the 90s, the jazz side was more, you had the bass players who were really going for it, and I
Yeah,
don't want to say overdoing it, but really going for it
right.
to the detriment of everything, and the drummers like doing all sort of licks and carrying on and all that stuff. And then somewhere in the 2000s, I would say like the likes of Cab with Bunny Brunel,
Hmm.
Tony McAlpine, and Greg Howe, these guys, they kind of pulled it, and Steve Morse, they kind of pulled it back to the other direction, which
Right.
personally I actually prefer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once I heard your style, I thought, yeah, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely got into the more, technically oriented, like as many notes possible kind of thing. And it kind of, like you're saying, it kind of left the original, feel of it, and where it originally came from.
Okay. And on your album, who are the musicians you'd like to tell the audience?
So, well, my husband is Adam Holzman, and
Oh, okay.
he's done everything, and he co-produced it with me. And Alex Skolnick is on it. And I have two different rhythm sections, bass players and drummers.
Okay.
I've got an East Coast one and a West Coast one. And the West Coast is Chad Wackerman and Stu Ham,
Oh,
and
yes.
they are on five of the songs. And the East Coast one is Gene Lake and Mark Egan, and they're on four of the songs.
Okay.
And then for vocals, I sing. Also, Randy McStein also sings, and also
Mhm.
Chanda Rule also is on one song. And we have a special guest, Vernon Reed
Oh, yes.
appears on one song.
Wow, that is some hell of a lineup.
Yeah, yeah. I feel very honored and fortunate to be playing with such amazing musicians.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just a quick one. I years ago, I from Adam's website, I bought the fence, first offense.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I did. He posted it to me and put a nice message with a smiley face.
Oh, I didn't know that you knew him. Oh,
Well,
okay.
I don't know him personally, but I really wanted to get this record because at the time you couldn't get it on Amazon or anywhere. I
Mm.
mean, I think you could get it now. You had to go on his website, so I was prepared to do that. And it's always nice to pay musicians directly anyway.
Yeah, and he has actually right now. He just uncovered some vinyl of the fence, so he's got.
Oh,
Yeah, so he is. He hasn't really posted the big announcement yet about that, but he will be. So, and also he just put out
oh,
a
that's
live
great.
album that we did right before the shutdown for the pandemic, called "The Last Gig," with his band Brave New World, which I'm in.
Okay,
So that just came out like in the end of May, I think.
okay. I'll look out for that. That's
Yeah.
great. And Chad Wackerman, I saw him play many years ago when I was a student here in London at the University of London Union. Chad Wackerman, Alan Holdsworth.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um, I'm
yeah.
trying to remember who the bass player. I think he was
Jimmy.
Scandinavian. I
Oh,
can't
really?
remember.
Wasn't Jimmy Johnson?
No, it wasn't Jimmy Johnson. No, no. If it was, I'll remember.
You would have
But yeah,
remembered. Yeah.
it was. And I think it was Steve Hunt on keyboards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Incredible. I know.
Right. So amazing. So yeah. So you got these. But how many tracks do you sing on? Basically.
Oh, let's see. Well, I sing on everything. Let's see. I don't sing lead on one, two songs.
Mhm.
And I sing backups on those two songs. And then Randy and I do a duet. We share the lead on
Yes.
Alien Refugee.
Oh, yeah.
He sings lead on Dissembler, and Chanda sings lead on Answers.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I listened to most tracks so far. I do like Alien Refugee. I just like the title song.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, that's one of my favorite songs on the album, also.
If I'm not mistaken, this is your fourth or fifth album that you've
It's
done.
actually my sixth album.
Six, okay.
Yeah, it's my second studio album under Jane Getter Premonition. Um,
Ah,
we have a live album in between that, that came out in what, 2017, I think it came out, 2017
okay,
or 18,
okay.
called On Tour, because the first studio album for JGP is called On, and the live album is called On Tour. But and then before that, just under my name, there's Jane, C. Jane Run, and
Mhm.
Three.
And also, I mean, it's interesting. Your album titles are quite to the point and succinct. I mean, is
It's
that like a what's the word I'm looking for? Is that intentional?
Well, it's very hard to come up with the right name for an album. I Some of them come to me right away. Anomalia took me a long time to come up with that, but the other ones, yeah, I mean, I want it to mean something. I don't want just to pick a name out of the hat, out of
Mm.
the air. I want the name to actually mean, or you know, have basically sum up the album in a
Mm.
word or two words if you can do that, if that's possible.
So why see Jane Run then?
Oh
That's
yeah, no, that doesn't sound well, it does in a way, but it comes from like when back in the day when children were in school. I don't know if they had that in the UK. The reading series was Jane C, like see Jane run,
Ah,
see
right.
Spot run,
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah,
Spot run after Jane.
yeah,
So 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 I just thought that was kind of cool, but also see Jane Run. It was my second album. The first album was just called Jane. There's just here I am, and then I'm taking off now. I'm starting to take off. See Jane Run, and then Three was like, even though it is my third album, but at that point there was a lot of symmetry to threes. Things were happening in threes, like I had a son, and now
oh,
my family's three,
wow.
stuff like that. So, and then On was basically, it's on now, it's happening, it's on now. So,
So it's simple, but lots of stuff going on in there.
yeah,
Okay, excellent. Okay, so I just wanted to ask you about what guitars you use. I mean, it'll be interesting for like fans of your music to know what
sure.
gear you use actually. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. On this album, I'm using my custom Picamous guitar, there's a guitar maker in New York City, called Paul Schwartz is his name, and he has a company called Picamous Custom Guitars.
Mm-hmm.
and I met him through, he was the Fender authorized repair person in the city, and I was with Fender for a little while, and I used to bring him my guitars to fix, to work on.
Right.
And then he just like made this guitar for me and just surprised me with it and gave it to
Wow.
me. And it's just this really fantastic, knowing he's been working on my guitars for a few years, and he knew how I liked it and what I was looking for and stuff.
Yeah.
So he managed to make it for me. So that's my main guitar. I also use a 71 Fender Tele,
Mm.
and I use a Martin D28 acoustic and an Ovation nylon string.
Hmm. That's good. It's
That's the one
interesting.
I
Yeah,
use.
I'm sorry, go on.
The Ovation nylon string is the one I use for the solo guitar piece at the end,
Oh, yeah.
Safe House. But the
Okay.
other acoustic guitar is with my Martin.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I was half expecting you to say you use a Strat than a Telecaster.
Well, the my Pika Moose is a Strat style.
Hmm.
Oh, you mean in addition to the Pika Moose you're talking
Yes,
about?
yes.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Fender, yeah.
Well, I do have a Strat, and that was my guitar of choice for a long time, and I still play it. I still have it,
Mhm.
but I just the Pika Moose has got humbuckers, and it's just set up slightly different, and so
Yeah.
I have been preferring to use that rather than my Strat.
Is
Mhm.
it is that a brand that is that the name of the guitar brand or because I know you
Yeah,
say you're is that one that other musicians are using that right now?
yeah, yeah.
I must admit I'm not familiar with that one, but then again I'm not a
Yeah,
guitar
it's a
player.
very small boutique shop.
Oh,
Pika
okay.
Moose. It's Pika Moose, Peekamouse, and but this is the Model One. It's the Model One Jane Getter
Oh, okay.
style. So,
I mean,
mm.
is it something that could be purchased?
Oh sure, yeah,
Oh,
yep,
okay.
yeah. Pika Moose custom guitars. People can go to the website and see. And another thing about those guitars is the coloring, the staining is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Uh, and really, really interesting colors. And my neck is red, actually. The fingerboard is red, actually.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yes, that's quite a
Yeah,
striking color.
yeah, you can see it in videos that I have on YouTube and stuff. So,
Wow. Yeah,
mhm.
that's great. So those are guitars you use, and which leads on to my next obvious question. So how did you get into guitar playing, basically?
Well, I was given piano lessons as a young girl, and at the same time, my sister was given guitar lessons. And I don't know why my parents did that, but I used to spy on my sister's guitar lessons all the time. There's something was drawing me to the guitar even as a kid.
Yeah.
as a, and so then they finally got the idea and then started giving me guitar lessons. But it's interesting. I guess the only guitar teacher in town that they knew of was a flamenco teacher. So I had flamenco guitar lessons
Wow, that's good.
when I was like 7 or like 9, or I don't know how old I was, which I didn't stick with. I mean, I love flamenco guitar, but not enough to really learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but and and then I stopped playing for a while, and then I picked it up again in high school, and then just continued to always play.
Wow, wow. And who are who are the guitar players you looked up to, sort of coming through?
Uh, let's see. I would have to say, I'm trying to think of initially. Well, initially, I listened to like Zeppelin and Hendrix, and
Mhm.
but I was playing more folk music at that time because I just wasn't considering playing electric guitar because I don't know, I just had never seen a woman play electric guitar before. And then when I saw Bonnie Raitt play, it really inspired me to get out of what I was doing. And
Wow.
um, so so I was just I was playing um, around, and then somebody turned me on to Joe Pass, and I was like,
Mhm.
wow, that's what I want to do. Like I went to a solo concert that he did. Somebody took me to that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd never imagined guitar played like that, and I said,
Oh,
"Wow, that's what I want to do." So I got deep into jazz for a while.
yeah.
My favorite, most inspiring jazz guitar player was Wes Montgomery,
Hmm.
and I still count him as one of my main influences. And then, from then on, it was, the rock and the progressive players, Holsworth in particular, John McLaughlin,
Hmm.
and, Jeff Beck is a big
Yeah.
influence, and still Hendrix, I still love, and, on and on.
So, like when you play what you play today, I mean, for besides like the connoisseur really knows,
Hmm.
do you have any like, do you use jazz licks in your playing, which like naturally, if that makes any
I
sense?
think it's in there. I think it's in there. I mean, my approach to improv
Hmm.
is jazz based, so it's there. You know,
Mm.
uh, it's it's just there, and so I do that, and then I do some rock stuff, and I do some out stuff, and I do some blues stuff.
Oh, you do some blues as well?
Well, it's in my playing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm always coming back to the blues, and at
Hmm.
one form or another.
Yeah.
Um, so.
No, it's fascinating because if I take like Carl Verheyen,
Hmm.
the first time I heard him wasn't the blues things he's done a lot of. The
Hmm.
first album I heard him was Chad Wackerman's
Hmm.
second album from 93 or 94.
Okay.
So he was playing a completely different type of guitar to what he
Okay.
plays the blues. So I find that really interesting because how some people can go from one to the other, like
Yeah.
a totally
Yeah.
different style quite seamlessly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like blues is just the foundation of everything, jazz and
Hmm.
rock and everything. So I just always seem to, you know, I always seem to like throw it in there at some point or another, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I'm not gonna, if I'm playing a jazz tune, I'm not gonna start, like slapping on the distortion and screaming some bends, you know. So it is depending on the style, you know. So, although maybe I should do that.
Oh,
Why?
yeah.
Why not? Right.
Yeah, why not? Indeed,
Yeah.
yeah. I have a
Depends.
feeling Holdsworth could do that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Yeah, because yeah. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, just to wrap up then, I just wanted to ask you now, obviously I know we're still in the crisis and the pandemic and stuff, which is quite disappointing.
yeah.
So what are your plans, if you have any, to tour or
Yeah.
are you doing any tours at the moment?
Well, I have
Even if it's just in America?
Yeah, I have some stuff lined up in the fall. My calendar is not completely updated because there's still a few dates that are in the works.
Mhm.
But I do have one confirmed spot in the fall, and I want to get to Europe next year, so I'm starting to work on that.
Oh, okay. Will
And
that include the UK when you say
I
you?
hope so, but it's with Brexit. I mean, it's hard to
Oh,
get
yeah.
into the UK now. I mean, I'd love to do that, especially since
Yeah.
my label is based in
Yes.
London, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with touring into the UK now. So, we'll have to
Yes.
see what happens.
Yeah, that horrible phrase.
We played at the Borderline in London
Yeah,
in
borderline.
2016, and it still was hard to get in there. I mean,
Really.
lots of paperwork and all this stuff, but we it was doable,
Hmm.
but now I have no idea really what's involved with that.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
Well, hopefully you can make it. But yeah, I
Yeah,
understand. I mean, a lot of artists been saying the same thing long before Brexit, as you said, been telling me that.
yeah,
Yeah,
really.
it's disappointing for me
Yeah, sure.
because there are so many great artists that come from the States who I haven't seen
Mm,
in
hmm.
England. I've seen them in maybe Italy and stuff over the years, but I've never seen
Yeah,
them in England. So there's so many that just don't make it, or to
yeah,
Britain, I should say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't
hopefully,
know.
well,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe with Brexit, it might be. Well, all you have to do is show your passport. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it will entail now. So I'm sure that whoever's putting the tour together
Mhm.
will find out about that. So
Mhm. Okay. Well,
yeah,
yeah, well, I'll definitely keep an eye out on your website and stuff, and yeah,
yeah,
hopefully it happens.
and
All right, well,
also
that's beg
I'll be
pardon?
I'll be posting stuff on all my social media stuff, my
Yeah,
website, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
okay. And your website is janegetter.com, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, well, thanks for this interview. I'm really pleased to interview today,
Oh, thank you. I'm very pleased to be here.
and
And thank
I'll
you
really
for
look forward to playing your music.
yes,
Well, to
thank you
continue
for,
playing your music because I've been playing your music for about the last 6 years anyway. So
I
your
know.
new album,
I totally appreciate that. Thank you so much for playing my music on your show. Really appreciate it.
okay, that's great.
Mhm.
Thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Why am I still here?
The JLR interview series.